If you miss the Age this Friday, you'll miss the entertainment guide, which means you'll miss Melbourne's complete weekend guide to film, theatre, music, and dozens of different and interesting things to do with the family. If you miss the Age this Friday, you'll have to entertain the kids yourself. Troy, it's Daddy's turn to play the Indian.
Good morning, Mr. Still worried about your tax return?
Not since I went to ITP.
ITP?
Income tax professionals. They're great, friendly, helpful. They got branches everywhere, and they make sure you get every deduction you're entitled to. You'd be crazy not to let the income tax professionals do your tax return. Hey, Doc? Doc?
Oh, Doc. Better give you ITP's number, eh?
Don't see many people out here. Railway never made it. Bitumen stops 200 k's down the track.
Well, she's ready to go.
Yeah. Reckon this is really gonna put this place on the map.
Over the last 5 years, Telecom has invested $530 million in services to remote areas.
How can I call? Who do I know?
Perhaps I could read you something from Dr. Brown's report. There were several small cuts in the baby blankets, but there was no evidence of tooth marks.
Well, teeth cut, don't they?
A forensic dentist finds no evidence of tooth marks. Does that concern you?
Well, of course it concerns me. But he doesn't know what caused the cuts. And if he can't say what happened, how can he say what didn't happen?
So you're not prepared to accept his expertise in saying that there were no teeth marks?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying what I'd like is a full answer, not a half answer. I'd like to know more than anyone else what happened to my baby daughter.
Now, Mr. Chamberlain.
Pastor.
If I could ask you about the hair colouring on the head of the baby in the photograph that you took of Mrs. Chamberlain with the baby at the side of Ayers Rock.
I'm sorry, would you repeat that, please?
If I could ask you about the hair colouring on the head of the baby in the photograph that you took.
We seek a short adjournment, Your Worship.
We support the application, Your Worship.
Court is adjourned for 5 minutes. Garrett.
It's too many of us.
That's natural.
Should have sent it back there. Shh.
Okay, the coast is clear.
Okay.
this one's at the side entrance. Now, the Ramsays couldn't have come in through
Like it
here.
was taken during an eclipse. No one does know he's got to take the lens cap off to take a photo.
Yeah. We're still running a trace on those cigarette cartons too, but we might have a bit of trouble finding the exact serial numbers.
Yeah. Oh, God. Massive diamond heist. A crack team of professionals made off with over $4 million worth of diamonds from Kepler's jewellers. $4 million? Kepler never had more than $4,000 worth of stuff in his place in his entire life. The newspapers in this town are a joke. Crack team of professionals. Could just as easily have been a husband and wife skating combo. You were telling me about the great cigarette carton heist. It's actually defying the laws of gravity. It's coming in over here and running across the ceiling and dropping here. Newton would be interested in this.
Newton?
He's with homicide.
Who's in the office directly above us? That'd be Hugh, wouldn't it?
What's he into hydroponics or something? Pass me that newspaper. I'll see if I can plug this hole. Oh, God, now it's an international diamond heist. Perhaps we better put out an APB on Roger Moore before it goes any further.
Roger Moore?
He's with the motor branch.
That's all they did. Yeah, well, like I told you, they sat in the car for a few hours. Then an Arab shows up. Some guy with a camera, well, he takes a photo of this geezer with a gun. Then they all clear off in different directions.
Were they acting suspicious?
Perhaps Mr. Cameron would like a cup of tea, Constable.
No, I'm fine, thanks very much.
What'd they look like, these blokes?
Well, not counting Lawrence of Arabia, one looked kind of stupid. So did another one. Didn't get a good look at the one with the camera. And the gunman, well, he didn't look very bright either. I thought actually it might have something to do with the international diamond hoist. What with, what with Arab and all that.
Did you see anything change hands?
No. But Lawrence was wearing a lot of jewellery. For a man, that is.
Right.
Have you got a leak or something?
If this keeps up, the wiring is going to blow.
The plumber said that.
Brilliant fella. Did he say what he might actually do about fixing it?
Yeah, he's just waiting for the requisition form to go through. Central's only got to okay it.
On the other hand, we'd always just put a few extra pipes through here and turn the whole thing into a jacuzzi. It's just crap.
There's something in there about the diamond robbery.
Well, the real world goes on out there, does it? Untroubled by inter-office reticulation.
And Shirley found it.
What's Shirley reading this drivel for? She's in Vice. She should be reading pornography. Oh, my giddy aunt. TV star goes undercover in thrilling international diamond caper. Who's this yobbo?
Oh, that's Bill Roberts. The bloke with the funny run.
Even off camera, Bill plays it for real. Bill, who starred as Dr. Tab Metcalf in... And Hamlet. Now that I would like to see.
Hamlet.
Spends his evenings undercover with some real live detectives. The Excelsior Research Foundation.
There's something else in here about a Scottish connection with the French underground.
I'm not at all surprised. TV star in RSPCA Furor. Series pilot axed. I'm glad they fixed the leak.
He's got to be told, Ron.
I'll tell him tonight.
No, you've been saying that for ages. You're just too soft as far as that old man's concerned. You let him get away with anything. Oh, it's time for school already. Where's Gordon?
He was with Felix.
That'll be right.
I'll get him.
No, I'll do it. You stay here. I'll get Felix as well, and you can tell him now.
I'm sorry.
We're sick of hearing that from you, Felix. Sorry is no longer acceptable.
The problem goes a lot deeper than Edna said, Felix. You never told us you'd lost your driver's license.
Yeah, well, I didn't see any point in worrying you.
Not only did you try to deceive us, but now you've smashed one of the station utes and damaged an RTA caravan. Who's going to pay for all of that?
You can have everything I've got. I'll pay it off.
The point, Felix. I had a heck of a job this morning convincing the police not to charge you.
You've left us with no alternative. A decision had to be made, and we've made it. You're to leave.
Been with us a long time, and we're grateful for everything you've done. But it'll be a decent severance check.
More than you deserve. We'd like it if you move out by tomorrow.
Don't mess about, do you?
Sorry it has to be like this. There's the question of young Gordon, you know. He's not going to take it real well. The sooner this mess is sorted out, the better. Okay?
Doc, you know there's no way I'd want to hurt the kid. I'll be gone by tomorrow.
Dad, she's sending him away again.
Where have you been?
Felix saved me. You can't send him away.
Felix doesn't have any family, I believe.
I think we're as close as anyone.
He was an employee, Ron.
I've always thought of Felix as more than that. If there's a problem, I'm sure we qualify as next of kin.
There is a problem, I'm afraid. The CAT scan from Broken Hill revealed a primary brain tumour. It's malignant, and surgery isn't possible. In the long term, nothing can be done.
What's going to happen to him?
Well, he'll continue to have these lapses into unconsciousness. They'll extend in duration until the final one. In the meantime, with medication, he'll be pretty much as he has been. There's no point in keeping him in hospital.
Yeah, I'll take him, Doc.
What? Ron, I'm in no position to nurse a dying man.
I'm not asking you to. We'll bring in help.
And what's that going to cost? What if he goes on for years?
It won't be years.
What do you mean, only a year?
I think it'll be considerably less than that.
What's this going to do to Gordon? Watching an old man die?
Edna, I know Dad left part of the property to you, but if you're not happy with my decision, then perhaps it's time we split. Find the money somewhere to buy you out.
You go that far? For him?
Yeah. Felix reminded me of something that Dad used to say. Something I shouldn't have forgotten. You stick with your family, you stick with your friends, and you stick with those that stick to you.
Come on, Felix.
Come on, where?
Felix?
G'day, boss.
Heard you're looking for a job.
I've come to take you home.
Welcome home, mate. Phillip Island is a special place. It combines great natural beauty with many unusual creatures, all of which can be seen in just a few days. My name's Peter Hosking, and I'm going to be your guide to Phillip Island and its fascinating wildlife. So before we take a look at the little penguins, let's have a look at some of the other animal life and the beautiful scenery. This is a red kangaroo. You may be able to see her Joey in the pouch. Kangaroos and wallabies are not native to Phillip Island, but there's plenty of them to be seen here at the wildlife parks. Jenny, beautiful.
One of the most delightful things about the Australian bush is the wide variety of scents that rise from the flowers, the shrubs, and even the trees. Try crushing a gum leaf. It's wonderful. This is a baby wombat. She'll eventually grow to be about 1 metre in length. These claws are designed for burrowing and for digging for food. Unfortunately, this one's an orphan. Her mother was killed by a car. Many native animals die on the road every year, so please, if you're driving in the country, take note of any wildlife warning signs.
Any more in the head? Down here, get down! Any more in the head? What's that? It's just change. Crap! Come on, mate, we got enough! We got enough! Tezza, there is more!
Rough boys. And you know, when people start talking about security, about theft and losing money, this is the scene that usually comes to mind. Men like this wearing masks, guns, knives. They know that when they use them, you'll be scared and more eager to hand over the cash. Unfortunately, it works. But theft and security is about more than this sort of armed robbery. It's about burglary, credit card fraud, receiving less from the delivery man than you've ordered, shop stealing, the customer who swaps a price sticker, even the drive-off. It's all theft. So how do you beat it? How do you save yourself aggravation and also save the business from losing hard-earned cash? In this program, we're going to help you solve the crime. We're going to teach you some of the tricks of the trade so you can stop the loss before the business suffers. But first, rule number one, whatever type of theft you might face, don't ever put yourself at risk. If someone's stealing and you try to physically restrain them, they can turn on you. And no one should ask you to play the hero.
You got a minute to chat?
Sure, what's up?
You know that couple that I was talking to about 10 minutes ago?
You mean the ones you let get away?
Give me a break. They were just looking, they weren't going to buy. Were they?
You see the car they drove up in? All cleaned and polished. I think they were ready to trade it.
I wish you hadn't said that. I kind of had that feeling. That's why I wanted to talk to you about it.
About what?
Well, I can pretty much pick a buyer on most of the vehicles that I sell regularly. But I must admit, I'm just not sure on Jackaroo.
We'll assume you know the main features and advantages of the Jackaroo.
Big assumption, John.
But you know more than you think you do, and I'm going to prove it to you.
Well, here I go through the range available, a part of the qualifying process.
Yeah, well, on a lot of occasions, by this time, you'd have a fairly good idea of what model they were after. But it's a good chance to restate the range and find out whether they're after a 2 or a 4-door model. Telinc is a signalling protocol that allows all makes of PABXs to talk together. It's non-proprietary in the fullest sense of the word. Now, everything said so far has been very important, but it's been by way of background. There is another new and more powerful reason why your private PABX network can't afford to be without Telinc in the very near future. And that reason is ISDN. Up until now, your access to the Telecom network has been based on analogue technology. But starting in mid-89, this access will commence switching over to digital operation under the name of the Integrated Services Digital Network, ISDN. Coles supermarkets are changing the way Australians shop. By improving our stores and service, we're giving customers real reasons for choosing to shop at Coles. And one of the biggest reasons is our new-look meat departments. We're putting a lot of effort into making our meat departments the best around. And through promotions, we're going to tell our customers just how good we are. This program outlines the key steps in receiving, preparing and displaying our meat, which will make sure we deliver our promise. A typical Coles meat department sells some 6 tonnes of meat each week, around 3 times more than an average butcher shop. But few customers appreciate the size and quality of our meat operation.
Normal stock rotation procedures have to be followed too. And the rule is simple, first in, first out. And don't let stock get jammed up together because this restricts airflow and increases the likelihood of meat deterioration. What we're on about is creating a better meat department to make shopping easier for our customers. There's a few new things to learn, but in the process, Coles meat departments are going to end up as better and more interesting places to work in. That's going to be the Coles difference, and we can all benefit from it. As for the competition, well, they're going to be mincemeat. See you later.
You know, Macca, I think of the stubby as one of the marvels of modern man.
Yeah.
I mean, glass. It's so pure and practical.
Yeah.
Easy to open, and what a drinking experience.
Yeah.
There must be millions of reasons why glass is the ultimate container.
Yep.
All right, Macca, why do you drink beer in stubbies?
Well, it tastes better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Beer in stubbies.
Yeah.
It tastes so good. It's uncanny.
Well, the money's no problem, but why do you need new Isuzus?
Simple economics, Harry. They'll cost me less to run, take bigger payloads.
Bigger payloads, huh?
Yeah. The drivers love them.
G'day, boss.
Plus, I'll get top dollar for these old SPRs.
The new medium-duty Isuzu F-Series with improved fuel economy, a roomier cab, and even more reliability.
Well, Joe, you got my blessing.
I'll see you in 10 years' time.
The Isuzu F-Series. It comes with your accountant's blessing.
Quality sardines are 20 delicious little sardines with a unique, lightly smoked flavor. Packed only in their natural juices, they're rich in protein and vitamins. Fresh from the icy fjords of Norway. King Oscar sardines. Anything less is just a piece of fish.
The following is an excerpt from In Between, a program shown on SBS TV about the problems of growing up in a multicultural environment. This program won a Children's TV Award in New York in 1986.
Come on. Okay, let's keep it down. What are you doing here? Thought you know all this.
I'd like to assure you girls that the boys don't go on like this forever. It only takes a few classes for them to settle down. You just have to be patient because our sex isn't as mature as yours at this age.
What is this, sister?
And we'll be discussing all sorts of derogatory terms like that later, Con, and what it implies about the people who use them. But for now, before we can have any real discussion about human sexuality, we've all got to know what we're talking about.
Pop star.
And that means knowing what words mean. We've got to know the right names for different parts of our body.
Yes.
We've got to know what words like conception,
I reckon you ought to forget about that stuff.
contraception
Why?
actually mean.
You don't know. The more you find out about these people, the more you realise most of them aren't worth worrying about.
So we're going to
Can you
start
say that?
taking a look at
I try and help my people.
the male and
There are a lot of
female
poor people in my country, Aunt.
So, starting here, what do we call this?
Third stump.
One like that's a snake.
Penis is the correct term. P-E-N-I-S. Now, this might be a bit frightening for some of you, but I want you all to repeat the word after me. Okay? Penis.
Penis.
Oh, dear. No need to be so shy. Come on, all of you at once. Come on, penis. Penis. Hey, see, the roof hasn't fallen in. We're all still here. Everything's okay, so let's continue. Don, what about...
Testicles.
Right. Now, what are the girls? Helen.
Oh, it's vagina, sir.
Right, the vagina. V-A-G-I-N-A. Now, the vagina is the internal organ. Now that you've had your education, here's part of an episode I did for the ABC. My work for the ABC more recently includes 2 series of The Fast Lane. However, this was me in Keepers in 1984. I'm the one steering.
think I know what you mean, Mr. McGinnis. I once lost a couple of potties, a pack of wild dogs for himself.
This wasn't a pack, Bates. That was one. Hunting alone.
They're cursed, these wild dogs.
Haven't come to make any deals, if that's what you're thinking.
The thought never crossed my mind, Cole.
It's about Charlie Bates's dingo.
Dingo?
Oh, now don't you start. That mangy dingo brought down one of my prize ewes this morning.
And what makes you think Charlie's dog was responsible?
Dingo. It's a dingo, and we all know what stock killers they are.
Got any proof?
Lindsay Beecham saw Bates's dingo a quarter of a mile from my place just before I found that ewe.
Ruse, did you shoot the night before I confiscated your rifle and ammunition?
I had a permit to shoot 10.
I know that, but how many did you shoot?
Well, obviously 10. You saw them yourself.
Familiar? They ought to be. I found them in the back of your ute, all 35 of them.
How many more do you need, Jack?
This guy was killed during the night?
Like I told you on the phone, I checked them this morning. They were fine.
Okay.
It should be easy enough to track for last night's rain.
No need. I know he's been getting to the fence.
Just give me 5 minutes, I'll get my rifle.
Well managed, Cole.
They're my ewes.
Look, Cole, you wanted the law, you got the law. Let's do it my way, okay?
Well, just make sure you shoot straight.
Now, folks.